Hello and welcome to Access IT's presentation of contractERP RoleTailored. This is the most comprehensive business software for contract selling suppliers, both distributors and manufacturers. My name is Bill Natalie and I'll be your presenter through this seminar series. But before I start in with the software, I'd like to talk about something that has impacted us all, especially over the last few years. As we all know, technology has made each of our individual lives easier, more accessible, and more efficient. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, whether we're talking about an iPad or a tablet PC, our smartphones, even our cars, we have access to information like we've never had before. We've become more efficient, and we're capable of doing more in less time than we've ever had before. What's most interesting and how it ties back to today's presentation is, what about your business? What about the business that obviously directly impacts your employees and customers and your bottom line? How many of us out there today are still running outdated software that might be slow or not connected, disparate systems? Or even worse, your business software is designed for any business, one that really doesn't understand the flow of our industry. How many of us can say that their business software offers them a true competitive edge, where your software actually is empowering your employees through ease of access to the right information? How about notification? Can your system actually drive decision-making in situations that might actually need to be resolved ahead of time before they actually happen? And how many of us have a complete business system, from estimating, change order management, counter sales, to the last accounting transaction? Most importantly, can we count on it every time without error? All of these things are things that obviously, hopefully, drove you to considering contractERP today. More than ever, we need to be rewarded in our business the same way that we have come to expect it in our personal life. And that's where I'd like to introduce contractERP. We are, as I said earlier, the most comprehensive business software for contract selling suppliers of specialty building products. This solution serves many niche vertical markets. Some of those niches are in the specialty equipment industry, windows manufacturers, as well as our core market for over 17 years now, which is the commercial door frame and hardware industry. This particular seminar series will be focused to that audience. Now, going back to contractERP, let's start with the second part of the word, ERP, which probably everyone on the call knows. Enterprise resource planning systems are a complete business software that run every aspect of your company, including managing orders, inventory, accounting, logistics, and so forth. Now, in order to provide the most accurate business solution for the industries that we serve, we first and foremost partner with the most flexible, powerful ERP system on the market, and that's Microsoft Dynamics NAV. I'll come back to that in a minute. And what we've done with Dynamics NAV, as a certified developing partner with Microsoft, we've created contractERP. We've significantly expanded the definition of ERP to support distributors and manufacturers that sell material and also services to a construction job, most often through a complex negotiated job contract and its many connected change orders. contractERP, as I said earlier, lives and breathes within the Microsoft technology framework. We start with the investments that you've already made. I'm sure everyone here has already made investments in Microsoft Office and SQL Server and Exchange and so forth. We then empower those softwares within our system. And our next layer of our system is the Dynamics NAV software itself. Microsoft Dynamics NAV is a business software used by over 85,000 companies to run their business every day. We then leverage that power and experience of that business software and have channeled all the unique requirements inside it to create contractERP. By itself, Dynamics NAV is a wonderful product, but it's designed for any business, not your business. By combining our 17 years of experience helping companies in this business sector, we've now created the most all-inclusive software to support how you conduct business. We know in this industry that almost all of your big work, less your non-contract counter sales work and maybe some service and dispatch, comes and starts with your estimating, bid, and detailing process. We have completely integrated the leading front-end engineering and bidding softwares into contractERP so that we don't lose any time, money, or data in the process of managing what's often referred to as the front-to-back total solution. Now, without any further ado, let me go ahead and take you through the first part of our contractERP role-tailored demonstration. I'm now going to switch screens, and where I've just transferred us to is a role-tailored version of contractERP. This role-tailored screen was specifically designed for a project manager, and I'm going to start there to explain what this role-tailored engine is all about. So I'm currently logged in as Bill Natalie, the project manager. And as a project manager, and it automatically knew who I was based on however my Windows authentication is set up, it now presents me and my jobs, my planned contracts in process, change orders, and so forth. I also can then see all the material that's being managed connected to those jobs. I can see it visually, and I can drive into all of these stacks of visual paper to see more information. Now, as a project manager, I might also sell non-contract sales, or I have sales orders and quotes and so forth, potentially even service and install work orders. So we can create an environment that's most conducive to each person in the company. I'm going to come back to a couple of these in a minute, but what I would like to do is actually truncate my window, and if you don't mind, I'm going to get out of a couple things. And what I'd like to do is show you another role, and this is going to be the accounting department person. So now I'm launching a second role center just to give you a sense of how the application works. I'm now logged in as the accounting person, and as the accounting person, my world is very different than the project manager's. So I want to see when I log in, almost like you would when you use iGoogle, when you personalize your Google homepage, you can present the things that are most conducive to who you are on the page. That's what we're doing with contractERP role-tailored. So in this case, I want to see my payables, receivables, and cash management functionality. I certainly don't need to see sales orders, sales quotes, and job or project information. What's most interesting here is you can also embed other applications. In this case, I'm leveraging Microsoft Outlook inside my role center, so now I can work in one place and have everything in front of me, trying to create as many points of efficiency as we can throughout the process. Now, since today is just an introduction seminar, what I'd like to do is leave my accounting role center, and I'm going to go back and bring up my project management role center, since the project manager role represents this industry so well and really points out some of the efficiency gains of the software. Now, let me go ahead and show you some other advanced functions here that really make this very conducive to this industry. As we all know, managing jobs where the majority of your material is special order or shop fabricated, there are numerous, for any one particular project, transactions. You could have very easily 20, 30 purchase orders with many different line items, all connected back to one job, not to mention however many change orders are connected to that job, and shop transactions, and maybe installation transactions. And there's lots of billing complexity to these jobs. All of these are everyday transactions for us. What if we had the ability, if our software understood all of those different business rules, could drive them as an alert to the user so that they can proactively react to a situation, not do what happens typically, which is react to whichever customer is screaming the loudest. So as I start to flow over to the right part of my screen, I'm now presenting something called an alert screen to you, where we can now present, and I have lots of different alerts here, outstanding planned change orders. You saw up top the ability to see something called a managed approval requirement. So a contract is waiting for a manager's approval. Late inventory material that I need to order for a job, like let's look at this one. I have material on a purchase order 158, which has a promise date of 12/15, but I told the customer that I would get it to him by 11/25. Obviously, I have an issue here. Now, granted, my data is a little old, but the point is, our application is going to drive this data forward so that you're capable of reacting to this situation before it actually happens. So it's a real-time alert system that has a library of the most common things that happen in a contract-managed business environment. Going down, I want to show you a few other things, and then we're going to dive into the processing flow a little bit. Shadowed alerts. Well, what if I was a manager? So not only did I have my own jobs and responsibilities, but I had other people underneath me that I was managing. What if I could go out and I could set alerts and I could say, hey, let me see all of Bill's late inventory situations that he has or has not taken care of yet. So by going out and saying, I want to see Bill's late inventory, it'll now go out and fetch for me all of Bill's late inventory situations. So as a manager, or maybe even as a coordinator or an administrator helping Bill, I can now drive in to see transactions that are impacting his world that maybe we can assist him with. So again, we couldn't provide alerts without having a deep understanding after years and years of working in this industry what the alerts should be. Another neat little feature here in my Role Center is my notifications. These are internal embedded notes connected to transactions that are flowing inside the business software. Most people today handle those through emails, independent emails that are fine, but are also what we refer to as disparate. How interesting would it be if I could, I don't know, let's go into an unconfirmed purchase order, and here's a bunch of unconfirmed purchase lines that I have, and it really isn't important which one I grab, but I'm going to go now to the Sergeant order, and I'm going to show that document. Now, way off and to my right, you see a window that has the word Notes. So my bottom right corner, I'm going to click on Create here to create a note. Now I'm just going to make up a note here, say to the buyer, this needs to arrive ASAP. Now that's good that I made a note against the record, but what if I could then push that note inside the software to a specific person? Yeah, I'm going to send it to myself because I happen to be logged on to only my own version. And I want to notify Bill of this note connected to this record. So from here I can go out and save that. I've now created a note specific to that record. And when I leave here, and I know I sent it to myself, but I'm going to go to my Role Center. And when I go to the top of my notifications, you'll see a new note dated today, which today was April 18, 2011, where I could now click on this as a user and it would take me directly to that record. Assume that would certainly be more powerful if I had two people on this session and you'd actually see me communicating to Sally as an example. But I'm sure you all get the point of having embedded notes that are actually transactional notes, meaning I can send them off to other people to have a response handled against them. So this new version of contractERP is pretty exciting. It takes all of the years, the 17 years of us working in this vertical industry, and it allows us now to leverage better technology to present more data in accurate situations so that users can then respond incredibly fast without nearly the amount of legwork that probably it takes in your current environment. Now, we're going to break this seminar up into 3 sections. This will conclude the first introduction session, and we'll now have a part 2 and a part 3 of this seminar series. Part 2, we're going to discuss the next very important technical advantage of contractERP, and that's our interfacing to detailing software. Then, part 3 of this seminar series, I'm going to take users through the actual flow of both contract sales, non-contract over-the-counter sales, as well as service work order installation tickets. Remember, on top of all those business transactions, we're running on top of Dynamics NAV business software. So you can rest assured that we are rock solid, the most efficient accounting, financial software, and inventory control system you're also going to find on the market. Thanks for joining me on this first session. I can't wait to get into the second.